Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that. Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that. Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Yeah, people, welcome back to the coach's desk. This is where we take it from track side. Yeah, man, you see the place full up already, you know. Brain drain. Yeah, the first one in a brain drain. You are the first one. Come up here with your problem in the brain drain. Anyways, people, welcome back to the coach's desk. This is your host, Coach Minzy, and we are here another time from trackside, and we'll be talking about Elaine Thompson versus Shelly and Fraser Pryce, the Steiner saga, and much more. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. Yeah, and definitely we'll have a lively discussion on what is happening. You know what I mean? So, how is everybody? Can't wait. 10 days to go, eh? 10 days to go. What is it, people? 10 days to go. What me say? 10 days to go. 10 days to go to what? 10 days to go to what? Talk no man. 10 days to go to what? Alright, so I go send Fabian the link, you know. I don't know if Fabian gonna go on with a bag of things, you know. So we'll make Fabian come on and ready for, you know. I'll go on this up. Ooh, what is happening? Where Fabian number there? Yeah, man. So check. So people, yeah, let me check out some comment. You see one brain drain, problem child, you know. In words of rich homie Quan, that Abby Steiner contract make you feel some type of way. Who is feeling some type of way? Is that rich homie Quan? John was there. Blade Brown, big up yourself. Welcome. Shelly and Fraser Pryce 10-5-6 for the goal. AJ lead. Ash lead, whichever way it's pronounced. Shelly will go 10-5-2 at least with a perfect race. Then she'll break the world record. I am very certain. Still have 2 minutes. Oh, that one key now. Big up yourself, see way, man. Boy, you still have 1 minute. Romano Cameron and Shelly and Elaine running now. No? Who thinks that them are running now? She can even go 10-5 flat. Samantha Allen, big up herself. Fabian run out there, you know. Tuffy Roadie. Present key. One done. When you're talking about Elaine and Shelly, you have to drop Sherika in the middle. All right, one done. Number 10, like Jody Brown. Worlds. That we are telling you. Shelly versus Sherika for the 100. It will be the fastest women race in history. Bronze will be 10-6. Man said bronze are going to be 10-6. You know? Big up yourself, Fabian.
Big up, coach. Big up
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Hey, Samantha said ETH for the goal all the way, you know. Kelly Ludlow said Shelly will go 10-5-8. Odie and Thompson. Which race is this, coach? Which race? The most world championship we're talking about, man. Come, oh God, man. Seriously? Odie and Thompson? Seriously? Now, you see why them say Elaine versus why I'm titled it that way there? Because of the article that spoke of Michael Johnson's quote unquote disgust with what is happening in terms of the rivalry between the ladies, and it is some sort of downplayed, as he's saying, based off the importance and the significance that is placed on time at the moment. You know what I mean? So that is one of the things that Michael Johnson was talking about. I know Michael Johnson is a legend. Michael Johnson is a legend. Yeah? Michael Johnson is a legend, and who best to say? What do you think about that though, Fabian?
Hold on, I just missed that. Michael Johnson. What was he saying? Me miss everything.
All right. I'm going to go through the article.
Yeah.
Go through the article. You see what Brain Drain said, oh.
Brain Drain, man. Oh my
Brain
God.
Drain a troublemaker, bad
Yeah.
troublemaker, man. All right, so the title of the article is basically we're robbing ourselves and the sport of its greatness. Michael Johnson on why track and field needs to focus on duels rather than timings. So he's saying that a big duel, something big can come out of Shelly versus Elaine. And as they say, Sherika has to be a part of that talk right now. So he's basically saying if we focus more on the duels of the track and field, then it will be more interesting, so to speak. More limelight will be placed on it. Because in the footballing world, when you talk about the derby in whichever league, you know, a big deal that, right? But in track and field, it's not so big because people interested in times being put down on the board. Everybody interested, even in the chat right now, everybody interested in a time, in the world record and all of these things. For me, I don't think the world record is going to be broken still enough. If it is broken, I understand that speed kills, but it's going to be very, very hard. Yeah.
I have one scenario where it is broken. One scenario I have that the world record is broken.
Anybody break it, have to execute one of the most perfect races in history.
And they must have 1.9 behind them.
Yeah. And the other thing is that through the phases of the races, first 40, I think you have to run some 3-point little bit. Then you have to run an next whatever in the last 40. So you have to run some fast times. They splits them in between. So the start of the race, the first 60 and the last 40, those areas have to be precise for this record to be broken. You know, I was watching a program and they were looking at it, the different phases of the race, how you go about the time that you run so that you can actually get that particular record. And if that is not done, It not gonna happen. 10-5-4 was close, but the last part of the race, it never get the time. The 3 point something, that's why it never break. But Elaine actually get a good start in that race, you know?
Yeah, she did.
Well, let me continue the article. With 8 Olympic gold medals between them, there's little to separate Jamaica's sprint legend Elaine, Thompson, Herah, and Shelly and Fraser Pryce. Michael Johnson, who won 2 gold medals, 96 Olympic Games, Atlanta Games, in an interview with Athletics Weekly, offered an interesting new lens to look at track timings. He says, make races about head-to-head duels rather than fixating on timing. So I must say, better we have some clash, some head-to-head clash, some Shelly versus Elaine versus Sharika. I know it's only 3 Jamaican names you would have to call.
I have
Everybody else are squabs.
Okay, that is the point I'm making now, coach.
Everybody else are squabs. So that girl and brain drain favorite, you understand? They would be non-factors, non-entity in this one. All right, he continued by saying that nowadays track and field is so focused on times and not focused enough on rivalry and the storytelling behind the scenes as well. And the women's 100-meter rivalry between Shelly and Elaine is perfect opportunity to showcase that. That's what he's saying. He went on to say, I mean, I would say it's a perfect example of the problem because I don't think that Shelly and Fraser Pryce or Elaine Thompson are getting enough credit for what they have done in the sport because we are focused on times. So stick up in with that there. I want you to get back at that, Fabian.
I mean, I don't agree with him. And this, I would ask him 2 questions.
But they don't get enough respect for you.
Yeah, they don't get enough respect in that part of the article. But when he's saying about we are focusing on times, I think our focus on the times is what is giving us these rivalries. Our focus on the times and the females and the athletes pushing each other to the next level.
Yeah, but Fabian, most times they don't run together. And I think that's what he's alluding to.
Oh, but all right. So the most talked about person in track and field for the last 20 or so years did not have a rival. The closest person to a rival that Usain Bolt had was you and Blake. And how often did they run together? It was just Bolt versus the clock.
Right, but and that's the fact that's the point he's making. It was only about timing, running fast, which is important. But he says that if you kind of flip the coin now and try to focus on the rival, you might get fast at times.
Yeah, I mean, it has a double edge because we can look at it both ways. I agree to some extent. For instance, in the 200 meters for men or the 100 meters for men, that is more about matchups rather than time. So I do understand, and for the persons who are just coming into the track and field realm, they would prefer to see more emphasis being placed on a matchup rather than on a time.
Yeah.
All right. So for instance, you would want to put a Herah Knighton versus a Noah Lyles in a 200 meter rather than a Noah Lyles trying to break a record that is nowhere near right now.
Yeah. But when both of them are in that race, you know, it will propel them to run fast and probably go as close as they would like to the record.
Yeah. So he does have a point. He does have a point, especially for persons. If you want to attract new supporters, the out and out downright track and field fans would not mind because track and field is about what is on the clock. So persons like me and you probably wouldn't mind, but other persons they would want to build the rivalry, and I think that is what Sha'Carri had in these last few seasons. The rivalry that she was building between herself and the Jamaican ladies, why there was a lot of attention. The only problem with that rivalry is that it hasn't come to fruition as yet.
My thing though, Fabian, I think, or I believe that you have to marry the two of them.
Yeah.
You can't separate them.
It cannot be separated.
Because the clock is the judge when you talk about sprinting. So you can't sprint without time. You
and
understand?
these athletes train 4 times. They train 4 times.
So if a man want to make the Olympic or world champion, he has to run a particular time. There are qualifying standards.
Exactly.
So essentially, that might be, as I said, two-edged, but more so, I think you'd have to marry them. All right? Get back to this. Gatlin and Bolt were rivals. Yeah. Even though some people might not believe, but them are the rival.
Yeah, they were rivals.
Yeah,
and
man.
it took Gatlin the last race of Bolt career to beat him.
Exactly.
Finally beat him. They were rivals. They were rivals.
All right, so Johnson continued by saying, right now I can see that you know what's going to happen most likely with Elaine. There's going to continue for the remainder of her career unless she breaks the world record in the 100 meter. I focus now on whether she breaks the world record or not. And if she doesn't, there's a danger that people will be disappointed. Oh, she didn't break the world record. She's won 2 Olympic medals, gold medals, 100 meter consecutive, and not to mention the winning in the 200 as well last year at Olympic Games he added. At 35, Shelly has 3 gold medals, 8 medals in total, including gold standard 100 crown, one at Beijing, London. She's also a 9-time world champion and reigning world 100 meter gold medalist in 100 meter. I mean, this is Johnson speaking, Then the fact that you have at the same time these 2 women from this very small island who go head to head, at these championships, and between the 2 of them, they have won the gold medals in the 100, the event over the last 4 Olympic Games, said Johnson. The current world record is stood at since 1988. Flo Jo became the woman only woman to break 10.5 second barrier. 10:49 US trials for Seoul in 1988. Since then, many have deemed the mark impossible to beat, not least because of controversy regarding possible wind assistance at those trials. So yeah, Johnston said, why not have a rivalry, man? So the thing can eclipse easy. And he's saying that many are going to be talking about Elaine's illustrious career, Shelly's illustrious career. However, they are going to be saying that these ladies have not won in a record time. So a whole lot of things will be coming out of that, but it is what it is. All right, let me run through some of the comments. Where was I? A whole lot of comment coming. All right. Tough Rudy. Fabian, where was the Jamaican shirt last week when U20 boys were playing?
I am done with football. I am wearing this because we're talking about our Jamaican athletes. I don't have any track vest yet. I soon get a track vest. I soon get one Carifta track vest. Anytime I come back to Jamaica, I get one. This is the only thing I have to represent me Jamaica right now. So the Reggae Boyz jersey have to go work.
Yeah, Tough Rudy, I say, Imam Brendan agree upon something, your shirt. You think they easy? Big up yourself, my opinion. Coffee said Bolt was the legend. I have faith in Shelly, all right? Elaine too. Big up yourself, Fresh God in the building. Empress Kimmy, the Jamaican ladies, been holding it down for years and haven't really gotten the attention. Yeah, that is true. And basically that's what Johnston is saying. Shelly is the only person who is consistently running 10.6 this season. All right? Please remember to like the stream, people. Just touch the like button, the thumbs up button. Yeah, touch it. Jahi said he agree with me, no world record. Fresh got a big up Fabian. I know who consistent or who show up on the day. That is true, one kino. 6.8 and 3.6. Yes, one done. Coach Michael Johnson is speaking from an American point of view, but you go to the Europe, Shelly and Elaine are superstar. Bold visit USA, he's really nobody. Goes to Europe, he's the king. Yeah, because no, but I mean, even in Jamaica, our athletes are doing so well and they're not seen as king. When them go up on the stadium track for race, stadium now full. Stadium now full, you know. So I mean, talking about US, Jamaicans are the same thing then Tuffy Rudy. Everybody runs different. Just execute. Fast Elaine will shatter it, all right? No Elaine finishing was good. The starting wasn't perfect. The 10.54 at a 6.9, 60 meter. Yeah, but they calculated the first 42, you know, one done. So, yeah, I know just the straight 60. Calculate the first 40, then they put in the 60, then the last one. Man of Steel inspired the color painting of Coach Minz's wall. Pink wall, boss. Hey, there's nothing pink about the wall, you know. Brain drain have a color problem. The wall is purple, Bridget.
No, remember, brain drain can't see purple, coach.
Oh, yes.
He can't see purple.
And green and black him used to.
Yes, he can't see purple.
Oh, why? You're right about that. I understand. Yeah, Empress. When I say squabs, let me say other runners have a squab. No disrespect to the other runners. It's just a Jamaican. It's just a Jamaican channel, and we talk these type of way. Melissa Jefferson USA is coming to break hearts. Yeah, man. You see him like how you have an emoji heart, you can put that, yes? That is a broken heart. Yeah, man. Brain drain nasty. In Kansas purple. Gatlin or Gay were not rivals to Bolt. Yeah, man. Not more to say Gatlin, more to say Gay, more so Gatlin.
More Gatlin, yeah.
I think it can be broken and before the final too. All right. Malik Samuels, Gatlin was a rival. Yes. Violet Miller, big up yourself. No, Gatlin was no rival. Of course, Fabian Full, Gatlin was his rival, man. Remember, say then 2 man died to it, man.
Yeah, Bolt even mentioned it in his
bio?
documentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gatlin push him to run faster.
Of course. Remember saying, man, if I know Bolt, well, most times the person that gives Bolt the most challenge at these championships, it has to be Justin Gatlin. When they ran at a world championship, when Justin Gay came second, that was the only time around at a major event. After that, a straight Gatlin. So what his name? Gay was so upset that he ran the fastest he has ever ran, and still come second. So yeah, man. Gatlin was not such a big rival. Not Gay, I mean. It was more so Alia Absdar, Nita Kambu, Dina, Asha Smith, Talu, Soboda. These are all rivals too. Well, once you compete, if you have a look on it literally, once you compete in the sport, then of course you are a rival. But essentially, when we talk about a rival, is the individual that gives the person on the top tier the most challenge. That's how I view it in that context. Talu is a rival during the warm-ups and heats only, not when it matters. So brain drain basically answer the question. Rivals really come through the person who give them the press to the line. Kelly, those are really competitive. Thank you very much, Hamilton. Coach, it's because they are so close now. I don't think we cared about times much years back, especially the world record. Everyone placed it as untouchable, so we didn't think of it much. True, it's true. They don't get their due respect. No, they ain't running intensive nor low. We only care about world record, to be honest, since last year. Yeah, true. Time is important, coach, but here is where I disagree. Flojo is a world record holder. If you ask anyone to name 3 of the best sprinters in the world, Flojo would be mentioned, yeah. Shelly can go 10-5. She ran 683, 60 split before 3-7s, 40 split. If she combine and execute them. Yeah, man, let me tell you, it has to be execution, You see, sometimes you pay attention to the execution, so much, Fabian. You forget even to hit the ground as hard as you're supposed to hit the ground, You probably start to stumble or you start to move in slow motion because you're paying attention too much to the execution.
Yeah, what also can happen, just to add to what you're saying, they might rush the phases also. Because when I start paying too much attention, trying to get everything perfect, then you might end up rushing the phases, or your heart might be beating too fast and you're not be relaxed and focused. So it has to be for me, for the world record to go, I think they must have a tailwind behind them of 1.9. And I'm looking at Shelly. Shelly must get her bullet start. The start that she normally gets. She has to fly out the blocks and have 1.9 behind her. And she has to relax right through the line. That's the only way I see Shelly getting to the record. I don't think Elaine is in that type of shape. I cannot judge Sherika. We can't judge Sherika because of the long hold at the national trials that throw off everybody. Because that 10-7 would probably translate to about 10-6 low if they didn't have problems at the start at trials.
I think Sherika, I did a video early in the season, that Sherika will run 10-6,
No, I expect her to run 10-5. I expect all three to run 10-5. I expect all three to run 10-5. That's why I've been saying anybody want to get on that podium must run 10-6 or faster. I expect all three to go faster than 10-6-5. Low 10-6 or 10-5. I expect all three to go 10-5. That's why I'm saying anybody want to get on that podium must plan to run 10-6 or faster.
All right. Randolph Drake is saying that I should go and look on the definition for rival. My friend, obviously you weren't listening. I know what the word means. That's why I'm saying to you, all would be competitors, but the ones, I take it up a little notch, the one that gives the most competitive edge, for me, not a dictionary's definition, for me, will be the one that I would say is the rival. You understand? So me now use an English definition. I'm talking about a definition that I would create. Okay? Randolph Drakes, big up yourself anyways. Rockford said Melissa is gonna brain drain heart like Shakiri did. Make him go and talk here. make him go and talk. But coach, who this dude in the yellow? The man a chat nonsense, but ET not in world record shape. Based on what she has been doing, Randolph, this season, you think she's in world record shape? So me judge Chuck Canfield still enough. ET has a way of surprising us, but me still not go on that unless she do it again. And talking about surprise, now one season she really do that on the last season.
Last season alone.
So it becomes a big deal now. So she
don't worry about it. She will be ready and she will be this. Yeah. I wouldn't be concerned, and I told you why I was concerned already. She hasn't showed me enough to show me that, hey, she's in world record shape this season. She hasn't done anything this season. She hasn't even broken 22 seconds in the 200 meter this season.
She didn't break it last season either, no?
Yes, but there's a missing ingredient to last season to this season. A very vital ingredient. And also, we keep forgetting about the time frame between trials and the championships last season and this season. Last season they had 5 weeks. This season they have 3. Last season, if anybody, if you are in the track and field world, Elaine went to Italy for those 5 weeks to prepare for the Olympics.
Randolph, me like when time people in the chat are go and say, no, just call in the man, see the number there. Or you can tell us say you want to come on the panel and me drop the link. I mean, like it takes back and forth.
Let him come and tell him to come with facts, because you see that 10 days to go, that 10 is very significant, because everybody know that I am Shelly and biggest fan. Sorry, coach, I'm Shelly's biggest fan. That 10 is very, very, very important, because Shelly has 9 world championship gold medals, including relays.
John Lasker says Shelly will place 3rd for the bronze.
As long as the two Jamaican beat her, I have no problems.
No, Randolph. We have a conversation now, man. We like have wholesome conversation, So if you bring forward a point, you have to substantiate that point. That's all we're saying. We're not gonna wait till afterwards and then you probably go missing. Listen, the 3 Jamaicans are poised, Don't get me wrong, Shelly, Elaine, Sherika. I respect the 3 coaches that coach them. I'm not going to tell you about 2 of them. 2 of the coaches, me and them talk. You understand? Me not going to tell you which 2. So nobody brain drain, nobody want no enemy mind anymore. And no deductive mechanism to try to find out nothing. So go easy brain drain. No. I want all of them to do well. Because they are Jamaicans. Matter of fact, Sherika said, I 1, 2, 3, 4, I go on. I love the sound of that. You understand? The fact is that there are some significant differences with the preparations of these 3 athletes. And I believe that is what is going to make the difference with who come first, 2nd and 3rd, and 4th. And we not talk Julian. You understand? So, it's when it come out to track and field reasoning, me not use emotions. See? Fabian say, Shelly, I'm my Shelly biggest supporter. Shelly is my girl. But when it come out to reasoning,
yes,
we try to be as the word so easy.
You were just in my head too, and it gone.
The word go like you want hide
objective.
From it.
Objective.
I want to be very objective.
But remember, coach, I did say all 3 will run 10-5, So I don't want anybody to think that I am not a supporter of Elaine, because I am just reasoning. My reasoning is based off current times, from what I see with body language, facial expression, all of those things. What I search for and research about them training and all of that, what is happening behind the scenes, that is what I use to make my prediction. And right now, I don't think she is in world record shape. Will she get to 10-5? Possibly. She will get to 10-5 shape. But as in world record shape, I doubt that. And I think it will come down to execution. Who execute that race the best will win. Because, I mean, I think for me, all of them, they're in 10-5 shape. They will be in 10-5 shape in the finals. Since it comes down to execution. When I have athletes who are running a few hundredths of a second of each other. It comes down to execution.
Randolph is saying, Fabian, history will repeat itself. So stop
History.
hype up SJ, which is
All right,
Sherika Jackson.
Randolph.
Where
Well, I know.
on this stream have you heard or seen any of us on the stream overhyping Sherika Jackson? Oh, probably not listening. This man
maybe
like
because
you don't understand the Jamaican terminologies, boy.
yeah, maybe because him here we say Sherika looks dangerous, and anybody would be a fool not to have Sherika in the back of their minds because she does look dangerous. And Randolph, okay, as a history teacher, Randolph, let me give us a bit of history. Elaine Thompson has never won an individual gold medal at a World Championships. That is a piece of history for you. She has never won an individual gold medal at World Championships. So add that to your history books. So if I say history going to repeat itself in the World Championships, history follows Shelly and Fraser Pryce. She has 4 gold medals in the 100 meters. So if you're talking about history, when it comes to World Championships, Shelly and Fraser gets down in the 100 meters. I'm not saying that Shelly will win because I don't really believe in that type of stuff. But it will be between one of those. As long as we get 1, 2, 3, and as Sherika said, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the smart thing to do is not count out Sherika. For me, Sherika is my black horse in this race. If anybody that's gonna surprise me and win is Sherika.
Coach, you've been hyping Sherika from trials. Really?
Well, if
give me an example, Mr. Randolph Drakes. Give me an example. Because if Sherika ran, Sherika won. So not IWF, World Athletics is hyping up Sherika for giving her the performance of the month. That is World Athletics hyping her. Come on, she beat 2 stalwarts. She beat 2 great athletes. That has to be spoken about. I don't think it's anything of hype that you are thinking of it to be. When Johan Blake beat Usain Bolt in 2012 at the National Senior Trials in both 100 and 200 meter, he was spoken about right short. Was that hyping up Johan Blake? Well, if that is hyping up, well, I guess that is it.
But
you know, fit in prime shape, Randolph. Come on, man.
But coach, World Athletics has Sherika Jackson as the number 2 ranked female for 200 meters. Only Mbomba is at number 1. Sherika is at 2. And that is World Athletics.
Well, I know. Randolph, more you're calling, man. Call the man. 876 474. So the number running out on the base of the screen. 3538. More you're calling. This back and forth thing now work through text. See? Listen to me, Randolph. Sherika beat Elaine and Shelly. That is a lot to talk about. Based on what Sherika ran, she seems to be in tip-top shape. You can't take that away from me. We're not talking about what Shakira talk about. Or 6 fastest. Hey. Virgin, I spoke to Elaine after the race. Seeing, let me talk to Fabian and somebody else. Because Randolph
afraid to call, man. Afraid I'm beaten.
Listen, I spoke to Elaine after the race. Elaine said, at one point, because of the disturbance, many of the athletes were very upset. People think of Elaine alone. All the athletes were upset with what transpired at the start. No. Elaine spoke her mind. And I believe, what's her name? Brianna Williams said it as well. Elaine wanted to walk out of the race. But because she said if she not have no buy, so she have to go run. And she said she does make up her mind for run. And basically, by Elaine standards, based on how the race finished, she scraped through. She said all in her back of her mind was to make the team after the whole ordeal. So when I mean, I agree because of the psychological impact of what took place. It's when athletes warm up and them ready to go, them for just run. That will have psychological impact because the legs are ready to go. See? So yeah, I agree with you. Elaine was not in tip-top shape based on the time that she ran. But she said she never feel no pain. She feel all right. But the start threw her off. So she never looked like I know the best that she has ever run. Elaine is at 10.5. So when you say she's barely out of first gear, I normally say that based on how comfortable the person is winning, how comfortable they look in second place. I will say that. But me not too subscribe to it. The bit or Bayesian friend said. But on this show, Bayesian, everybody give their opinion and we just try to have a conversation about it and see how best we can, shred it out. Let me get back in the comment section and see what's happening. Because if this man feel like say 21.5 is not in good shape, then I don't know what else to say to him, Fabian.
After rain pour down on the track.
To go further into history, Elaine has not medaled at World Championships since 2015. A step further, she has failed to even start the 200 at the last two.
Yep, that is right. She placed second in 2015 in the 200 meters and first in the relays.
Yeah. Dr. J.D. Smith is saying Sherika is in 10.6 shape, possibly 10.5. Yeah, me say she at 10.6, me feel Sherika gonna run this season. If she go faster, kudos to Fran on the whole team. With subscribe mode turned on, how people who haven't subscribed to the show. Gunners Boss, with subscribe mode turned on, how people who haven't subscribed to the show. I don't understand. A question in a word properly. If you have not subscribed and you want to comment, you subscribe. Sherika Jackson run enough 200, so she must the number 2. Emboma that little. Hey, one keynote. Stop talk about little boy, man. Out of first gear. Dandina, I believe she earned the spotlight. That was a spectacular performance. Stephen Francis is on a mission with her, of course. Hey, Stephen Francis said something the other day in an interview, exclusive interview with Trishana McGowan. Big up to Trishana McGowan. The boss said, if Shelly and Elaine never go away, there wouldn't be room for Sherika. There wouldn't be room for Shakura Wallace. The man saying no more when these people gone. You'd want to have them, but there won't be any room for development of other athletes, and that's a theme thing. So when we say Sherika is in superb shape, that goes without saying. It is truth and nothing but the truth. 21.5.
She's now the number 1 athlete there at MVP.
Thank you. And if Sherika were to leave, God forbid, right now, Shakura Wallace are going to take over.
Somebody would step up.
Somebody are going to step up. I saw the game go sports. The
It's
man
having some
said
good attention.
transfer happen all over in the world in the world of sports. So why track and field not believe like it's a transfer for go on?
It's funny, you know, because I see they mentioned Sharika. Let me give you a bit of information too about Sharika. That 100-meter finals will be run on Sharika's birthday. Her birthday is July 16, and that's the time. That's the date for the 100-meter finals.
All right, so Claudia Hodges is saying, Coach, this reminds me of a lot of people who are thinking of Blake that he should retire. Yeah, seeing people in burn out Blake and support him. Hey, you see sport? You have some people. There's a sports wagon, you know. I would have want Clovis Stone to draw man. May I see if the idea can reach him. Draw one sports wagon. You see Jamaicans on and off the wagon.
That's the one that lick me, huh?
All right, you squeal. Ajit is saying, I agree that Sherika Jackson is in 10-6 shape, but 10-5 for now. I'm not sure, but she definitely can. Of course, I think she can do 10-6 now. This season, she's in 10-6 shape. I now ask. You run so fast and you not execute, and you have 3 weeks to prepare. If Sherika can fix her start, she run 10-6. Johnny, mash up my star athlete meds. Why? He might hold up and smoke this and all. Apparently, Elaine takes 4 years to peak. She only does it at the Olympics. Very good observation. Same
very,
for them.
very good observation.
Because you have the 4-year cycle, you have the yearly cycle, you know. Good talk. My save people lives every day. Oh, me save people lives every day. Me not afraid. So call in the boss, man. Right about now, Abby is taking over from Shakir. Abby is the next big thing. Kemba said it too. If it wasn't for who is coaching Sherika, I would be worried that she peaks for trials. But knowing her coach, she's okay. To be honest, what they did at the start of the race was annoying. Very annoying. It was irritating. I don't blame her one bit. Hey, me did I stay down Fabian? And me tell us that me cuss. And I said, them man, they are mad, man.
Yeah, I was cursing too.
If you have athletes warm up and make them go through that, man. And so
I was angry. At that point, I was saying, at this point, I just want healthy. I don't care who wins. I just want everybody to finish the race. Hell, that's all I was saying. I said, I don't care who wins at this point. I just want everybody to finish the race healthy. I say, I don't want anybody try run no blistering time. Just try make the team and finish the race healthy. That is what I was praying for. Say, I don't want anybody get injured because that is the recipe for disaster, what they did now. We got away with one, you know. We really got away with it that nobody got injured, you know.
All right, Bridget is saying, make a poll for whether your wall is pink or purple and see coaches this. Now, Bridget, I'm not going to be doing a poll. I want you to look at the video I did today and come back and tell me if it is a pink or a purple wall. I know that you can't see purple, so you might come back and say it's pink. They stood up 17 minutes after their warm-up. I would be vexed. Yeah, man. I see you something that, you know, risk injury, you know, man. I'm glad to them finish injury-free, Bridget.
Oh, they're lucky. We dodged a bullet. That's all I'm saying. We dodged a bullet.
May I try to find out where the last place me did there. Comment, let me come in quick and fast. All right, me find it. Fabian, you know what the person means when he said history will repeat itself? So don't try to flip it.
Olympic history different from World Champs history, you know. So if you say history will repeat itself, simply means that Elaine will win double at the next Olympics. But if you're looking at the history of world championships,
yeah.
it's completely different. There are two different events, And remember, confidence plays a big part in sports. Some people it is just like Bolt. I remember Bolt saying that there are a few tracks in Europe that him say Asafa beat him on the track. Him not like run on that track. And it's the same 100 meters. Just mentally, he does not like that track. And him say after probably about 3 seasons, tell him I'm not going back there to run. Like how athletes have a favorite tracks just the same. So all of those things, it might seem like nothing, but they play a lot in sports.
Same Flame is saying people act like PBs are easily replicated. Hey, that want a loudspeaker, Same Flame.
Mm-hmm.
That may I tell you now. Sherika will run 21.4 in the finals of the 200. Elaine will definitely medal this year. The difference, however, is that she doesn't have the same ammunition this year. The coaching. So that's, we should really not her history of not medaling. That Trishana Magon interview was awesome. Very informative. Yeah, what did me learn from that interview? Just be a friend of talk. What did me learn from him? Personally, think that Mboma should be banned from the...
Left that one there alone. Left that alone.
Hey, Randall, come to take on everybody, The man said, J.D. Smith, this is not medicine. That's the kind of man comment a while ago. That's a great program at MVP. I love the next man up system. Yeah, man. Very good. Don't mention the track being wet. It is faster than as long as it's not raining. Devontae Davis, Fox for kill. I will give Fox. I mean, Elaine can win. I'll never doubt her like last year. Of course, any of the ladies can win, Any of the 3 Jamaicans can win.
Yes. So anybody who is betting, I would not advise anybody to bet on that race because, as I said before, it will come down to execution. As much as I love Shelly, I would not bet on Shelly for that race because it will come down to execution. Because all 3 will be basically have the same speed, so it will come down to execution.
All right. Yeah, man. The World Champ and next week Saturday final around,
Well, I just double check, coach. Them are running male final before. So male finals are Saturday, female one are Sunday. So it's actually
Sunday?
one. Yes, so it's actually one day after Sherika's birthday. Yeah, the
Okay,
male finals will be Saturday and the female finals will be Sunday.
And you see the beauty about this, a lot of people have their preference and their favorites, And I am not on here to persuade anyone to switch allegiance to your preference. No. But we're just having a track conversation. And if you're not talking facts, we try to straighten it up, Erica Banton is saying Elaine for 100, Sherika for 200. Rob Smith said, Coach, from day one on this channel, people were down on make sprinting except me. We're down on what?
Blake, I think it's most unless he's saying down on Blake splinting.
Oh, I've always said you said we were reloaded. Oh, yes, Rob Smith. I love our 3 women bad, but I just have a weakness for Elaine. All right, Jaman. Plenty wagoness, as what Oral Tracy said. All the people upset about Vin Blaine now have changed their minds after the victory. All is forgiven. Yeah, man, I saw you go, Brendan. Wagoness.
That's sport.
Doing it at the Olympics is doing it everywhere. There is where you get the money exposure. No? Well, you know I get money for win a world championship, $60,000. Olympics, you don't get any money. You might get from your shoe sponsor for being the Olympic champion. You can negotiate a bigger deal. But you get money when you win at the world championship. Top 3 get money. I think so, yeah. Jamaica need to buy new equipment. Them too cheap. Elaine said she was just trying to make the side. I laugh your friend. Oh, God. So some people the police to say.
They have their favorite, but we're not here to like a change your favorite, We just want to give you the facts. And the reality of the situation is facts are just facts. It doesn't mean anything on the day. It comes down to execution on the day.
Coach, you made an excellent point about Usain and Blake. Blake went Charles in 2011 and beat Usain. Then what? If Elaine is fully fit, no one will be in front of her. I'm looking for her to win. Yeah, man, Elaine can't win. Elaine top end is good enough, man. The issues at the start was unacceptable. They could have been injured. Unfortunately, John Hill injured, and she was just coming. Yeah. I forgot that. John Hill got an injury. Re-injure herself, rather. What is Kemba win? My wife said it's pink still. If it's purple, that a beaten up purple. Hey, I didn't like do it, man. It's not a pink wall. Watch the previous video I did, the previous live, and I'll come back and tell me if a pink wall. Elaine looked fully fit in her recent races. Fans need to stop this narrative that a fit Elaine is unbeatable. Didn't Shelly beat her last year at her peak? What if Kemba win? If Kemba win, I see him match, same excitement,
Same flame.
Yeah, man. The times would have been faster as well. The delay and the loss of focus contributed to slower times. Coach, a KC man today. No, sir. Coach is this. Sherika could run the world record or at least beat Elaine's record. Elaine form don't even look normal and she's not winning races. She's not winning no 100. Lord. Claudia, I said, this is my reasoning. Elaine has something to prove. And Sherika is Frano's instrument of revenge. While our girl Shelly has legacy. So my thing is who wants it most. That sounds like a reasonable argument.
Mm-hmm.
The wall is pink. Why I feel like them account out Shelly. It's called superstition, Eddie Gona. Athletes are filled with all kind of superstitious beliefs. You think a joke, a real thing, Big up yourself, unseen. You don't apologize for burning your one. So just cool.
No, you see the thing, you see, I am somebody like that, I'm not afraid to say me say something, and prove me wrong. And you and Blake prove me wrong. But it might still beat me because me still don't have him for medal in the 100 meter.
Hey.
So you still go beat me?
Yeah. Unseen says Sherika will win the double.
Not a bad prediction,
Not a bad prediction. Masilingi just come back from injury run 22-2. So Brian Alisson is going to have a massive PB to win that 200 meter. And Masilingi really got under 20 again. Jesus, peace. I don't like the fact that the men's 100 and 200 meter get a longer break than the women's in Oregon. The final for the women's 100 is Sunday and the 200 starts the next day. Randolph is saying last year's history will repeat itself for Elaine. I'll probably bet after I've seen the semifinals. Coach, let's do a poll for both races. Who will come 1, 2, 3? German sports guru Scott. Let me fix properly if you read this sports guru message. I know Shelly not getting her due respect and love. Persons just forget what she has represented and is still representing for this country. Just give her a job. I guess they're not give old lady no respect. Bougie Bugatti. What happened at the trial shows that Sherika Jackson more mentally prepared. I don't think my nerves will allow me to watch the 100 final. What? You're shaky like a leaf fair spot. But you know, so track and field or most sports is a male-dominated sport. So then treat the man them like them king and the woman them do better than the men them, you know. Boy, I tell you. Coach, you count out my queen E.T. on 2/3. On 2/3 place last year. Hype up SJP. And look what happened. Me count out Elaine. You can never count out Elaine out of nothing, brother. You know what you're talking about. Hey, me have my special, you know.
Love Elaine, do you know?
Oh.
Love Elaine, man.
But me can't count out Elaine, no dear.
The thing with Elaine, you know, coach, and I said it last year at Olympics. I said if after 40 meters, Shelly is not in front of Elaine will win. She has to be in front of Elaine at 40 meters because that is when Elaine starts to run. So if she's not in front of, so when I was watching the Olympics 100-meter finals, I was watching the 100-meter finals last year. After 40 meters, I knew that Elaine won. That's all I needed to know because Shelly did not get her bullet start that she normally get. Elaine got a very good start in that 100-meter finals. And Elaine just need to get a good start, not a great start because of her top end speed. That is why a lot of persons are looking to Elaine to break the world record. Even Shelly said that last season, Elaine was closer to the world record than herself. But Elaine has battled some injuries this season. And for people, let me give you some information. Coach can back me up on this one. Sprinters get injured. It's a regular thing for sprinters to get injured. Last season when Shelly ran that 10-6, she was injured right after. So she was fighting injuries for last season. Bolt, the only 2 seasons that Bolt break him world record was the only 2 seasons that he wasn't injured. And you can check back his autobiography for that. He said the only 2 seasons he wasn't injured are the 2 seasons that he broke the world record. So sprinters get injured regularly in training. So I want Elaine to have, I don't like the fact that she was injured earlier in the season and struggling with her shoulder and all of that. I want her to have an injury-free season. I want all 3 of them to have an injury-free season where they can really challenge for that world record because as somebody said earlier, how often you run a personal best? How often has Bolt run 9.5 in his career? How often? The only person I see going in and around their personal best on a consistent level every year is Shelly Ann, and I'm not being biased. From her PB was 10.7. Shelly Ann run 10.7 every single season, close to her PB. I've never seen anybody else do that. So running your PB, you need the perfect conditions. You need to have the perfect race. So we might not get the world record, but for me, I want to sweep the 100. I want a 100-meter sweep. And I'm hoping that Kemba running at home can PB again and give us that 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's not going to be easy. So all the persons expecting record, the conditions have to be perfect. And Hayward Field is very windy and the wind change direction and all of that. So it is going to be very tricky on that field.
Jai is saying people are a discount importance of front to female winners. Yeah, man.
Take out the female out of it and the sentence would be perfect. Stephen Francis, in my opinion, is the best Prince coach the world has ever seen. He's the only coach that had at one point the fastest female and the fastest male. That is in Asafa Powell, and then in Shelly and Fraser Pryce, then Elaine Thompson. So it is not just females that Stephen Francis is very good with. He coached Asafa to the world record.
MVP won the 100-meter goal, but he might not get it. Danny D says Shelly, Jackson, Elaine, Devonta Davis. I think the J3 should really put Frano's views into place. Fast Elaine are the 200 still, so I'll go on. Sprint King JTV, Barbados national champion checking out. Checking, but sorry, I'm missing world championship. Even though I dream of shining soon, but wait, your turn. I'm happy with the ladies and males in the Caribbean this year. All right, big up yourself, Barbados champion. Elaine is on course when you look at the numbers, especially in the 200. But I must say, Sherika is ahead with that 21.5. Now is the light, sure. It's a purple wall, you know. I don't care what you want to say, you know. Purple wall. And me turn off the light, a different thing. But I'll give you a darker look, you see me? Now we prove nothing to brain drain, no. In my opinion, kind of feel like Elaine and Shelly not run out yet because look at last year, Shelly said she was tired. And I put on then 10-6 and 10-7. How many times Bolt run 9-5 yet? Stop live on PB. Super hype, big up yourself. Coach of the news on the Commonwealth Games as yet. No, I know. But no say Jamaican. I think the JOA and the J3 are at odds. Them don't know how the team thing are going right now. With that, me here will go on. I mean, no, it will keep up Birmingham, but you know, don't count out Auntie Shelly. A Sherika double is possible. It is. Big up yourself, super hype. Good evening, coach. Big up yourself, Elaine. Good evening. Shelly to the world. She's just easy when she's in the track. It's a different thing. Facial expression change completely. Craving, she craving. Who craving Dandy, you know? More Shelly ma talk, you know. Ma still in that. Hey, you see you one key, you know. Boy, the rest them too close to call, man. I tell you, them closest. But you can't make a call, man. Richard Poe is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sherika say to the boss. So we have to go to Sherika say. All right. We're going to switch up things now and talk about it. Because we can't talk about Sherika them for the whole day, you know. No. But so 1, 2, 3, Rich Poe. Pick up yourself, Neil. Pick up yourself, Neil. Actually in the building. Shelly will be tough to beat this year. People they have them fans. People have them fans. People they have them favorite.
Who is relieved that M. Boma is absent? CM semi and come back 10-5 in final. That was Everybody have them favorite, you know. But we just know that it is going to be. I think it's gonna come down to execution.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rob Smith and and the one key, you know. Only for be for yourself, you know.
Hey, one key na trouble in a brain drain, so take him on.
Brendan, are you who want to call in, Brendan?
Brain drain soon deal with one key now, man.
Hold on. Look like Randolph Drakes have a finger twist. And a tongue tie, you know, a finger twist. Coach, come on now. Glenn Mills better coach than Glenn Mills in male spreads. You have a finger twist, man.
You know, sort out in thoughts yet. But I think I understand what he's saying, though. He's probably saying that Glenn Mills better than Frano in male sprinting. But I was saying that it's for me, Stephen Francis is the best sprints coach ever. And I'm not using personal feelings. Stephen Francis is not even my favorite sprints coach. But the facts, hard facts I am using, that he is the best sprints coach ever.
Why not put it to sprint coach?
And I wouldn't say sprints coach because him after J Gill, hey, I just say sprints because there are other coaches in the world who I think in other events would be better than him based on their results. So that's why I just
The man coach a medalist in shot put, long jump.
Yeah, but
hurdles. Well, that is a sprint event though.
Yeah, but when I'm looking at the other events in the world and the other coaches, there are other coaches who probably would have done more in shot put, more in, so it would be debatable for other events. But when it comes on to sprinting, there is no debate. So for me to be on the safe side, I say sprinting.
Hey, remember say man have a quarter mile a real sprinter, the national record, you know. The great big boy. Brother General, man. Rich Poe, what kind of follicle you talk about? See link there. you come on here with no foolishness and you say, I'm ready for you now. I'm ready for you and you're tiddlywinks kind of behavior. You're super hype, him see man. you never know that them call him. The great big boy. My apologies, Rashid McDonald. That they call him free. My apologies, sorry.
Me call him the lucky man. Me call him the lucky man. Lucky. McDonald is the only athlete missing do nothing for the whole season and just run and broke national record. I don't know McDonald. He is.
But he has been through a lot still, you know.
Yeah, man, but he's special. He is a lucky. Me consider him the athlete.
Yeah, they can target you, you know. Man, they say man of follow instruction. Hey.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, never look bad still, man. Listen to me. He has been through a lot still, you know. Put all fun and joke aside, you know. He has been through a lot. Accident, back injury, and all of them something. So I think you kind of have to ease up on it, but it's because some people don't know they're not ease up, you know. You understand? I did train with him. Yannick Edwards, I say, did train with him. People, forgive me, I've been in this laughing mood. But me I tell you.
So hold on, the person we asked for the link, him now come on in.
No, man. Me check me, man. So I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, man. I'm afraid.
Oh my God.
He must turn one in. See, a man I say, England.
Me know me I read the same comment and I laugh, you know.
Listen, you know, please in a 43 they're good super hype.
Oh gosh.
Hey, me say me have a plan for Richard now. Me have a buckle of water for wake him up tonight, you know. And we have a spike heel here. We have a spike heel here. me have a buckle of water. Say that now. Say that now. Say that no me like. Say that no me like.
You do your research already for it tonight, you know, coach.
Big up yourself, Rich Poe. Rich Poe in the building.
Good night, viewers and subscribers. Good night, Coach Minzy. Good night, Fabian. How is everybody?
Big up. We're in a joyful mood tonight.
Yeah. Hey, I track and feel alone can't do this, you know. Hey, Richard, the girls them win, I will congratulate them. But you ever see any other sport do this?
Winning is a wonderful habit. Winning is a wonderful habit to have. Can you hear me?
Your son kind of low.
Wait. That low business again. Increase the volume, sir. Fabian, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I can hear you.
Yeah, man. Is the coach?
Me turn up his volume.
Yeah, man. Do something there, sir. Look here. Congratulations to the Reggae Girls. I was on Talawa TV offering commentary and insight on that game. A wonderful victory, a hard-earned victory, a victory of resolution, commitment, and professionalism against a good Mexican team at home. Well done, Reggae Girls. It absolutely made so many people happy, content, got to them bed, content, and blessed. But I am here now to brook up the folly ground with this 100-meter start.
What kind of folly ground?
All right, sir. I put it to you that it's almost a done deal that this is going to be a two-way contest in the women's 100 meters. Why don't we focus, your eyes wide open, why don't we focus a little more on the men's 100 meters and the men's 200 meters? What is the blue ribbon event? Have we redrawn the line, sir? Speak!
Hold on. You said something about a 2-horse race. What kind of tiddlywinks behavior that you're talking about? On the female side?
Yes, sir. Elaborate.
What kind of tiddlywinks thing that you're talking about? Two-way contest.
What is your banner headline there, sir? What is your banner headline here tonight when we join this stream?
I actually say, me plan for you, you know. Me plan to show some water upon you because you don't listen to the first part of the stream. You come ready for your attack, but the shield up.
Herah still a dash. Where you have to say? Where is the third name? Where's the fourth name? Who is Abby Wayde, by the way? Who is Abby Wayde? I went onto the internet to type in Abby Wayde. Who is this Abby Wayde?
Abby Wayde?
Watch her. I go and start your business. I see. Hold on. Yellow card. I protest.
That's a warning. About two-way. You don't listen to the stream. You don't listen to the stream from its start, Virgin. This conversation was about what Michael, the legend Johnson, said. That he wants to see rivalry rather than people focusing on time. So hence the reason the stream was named that. Shelly versus Elaine. And then we talk about, we want to talk about, we're not even reaching that yet, Steiner and Wayde Van Niekerk. The man kick off in a season best with a 44.458. So don't get it twisted. Next yellow card are gonna be red. Calm down. Richard, you know you can't play with me now.
Me love play with you. Look here. I think it was a matter of diction. It might have been a matter of diction because Abby and Wayde got together. There was no semicolon or colon. It just said Abby Wayde. That's all I'm saying regarding
remember
that.
You're a YouTuber, you know. Remember you do YouTube too, so you have to ensure so you understand when titles are made on them something. Yeah. Well, and everything, punctuation and all of these things are placed in it.
Unlike Rich Post Sports. Okay, no problem. I know that I have to read between the lines sometime. Everything blessed. No problem. No, watch ya. Michael Johnson. You're not gonna walk away from this so easy though, you know. Michael Johnson said he likes to see rivalries. Is the rivalry such that we are only concentrated on these? Watch ya.
The man then say you go search for Abby Wayde. Richard, you know you're the best. You know you're the best. Oh, you go search for Abby Wayde. I am sorry. Continue. Hey, the live nice tonight, people. May I get one for joke?
It is a good medicine, and we need it in these times, these perilous times. Indeed, we do. Yes, I went in search of Abby Wayde, but now you've offered some clarification. A real thing, you know. You think how easy? That was quality time. That was a good few seconds of my life wasted. But nonetheless, we move on. Viewers and subscribers, hit the like and share subscribe button. Support this man with his relative dictionary prowess. It's a YouTube thing. Everything blessed. There is no Abby Steiner. Wayde Van Niekerk.
What did I miss? Why look like hold on, Richard, stick Wally pop in. Why look like you run from something? What just happened? Me miss what just take place? It look like you run like somebody had chase you. What me just miss?
Me not run from nobody. Trust me on that, Fabian. I'm standing firm, square,
what did I miss?
And straight in front of this man. Well, I was reading the introduction. Did you see that Shelly, Elaine versus Shelly, Abby Wayde business? Did you see the introduction to this particular stream?
Yeah, what is wrong with it?
Well, it says Abby Wayde.
Abby.
Do you know who Abby Wayde? Have you read it?
You don't know somebody by the name of Abby?
I know Abby, and I know Abby. Who's Wayde?
You don't know Wayde?
Abby is a first name. Wayde is a surname. Who is Wayde? Who?
Wayde is also a first name.
It is. Could you see the confusion?
No, because
hold on. You're a school teacher. You are a school teacher in Jamaica, aren't you?
The reason why I don't.
I know standards have gone down, but we don't want it to go down to the rock bottom.
All right, Richard. Let me explain something.
Standards in Washington has gone down. I hope it's not the same in Kingston, Jamaica.
Hold on, Raps. No, coach caused that.
My point exactly. But he offered clarification. But a coach caused this. That's all I wanted you to know. But it's been rectified. He's explained. But a coach caused this.
Right.
We can progress anytime you want
Richard,
to. Yes, sir.
In media and in titles, you can get away with the punctuation marks. Here, you can get away with not having them. You can get away with not putting the comma in there. So because if there wasn't a comma between Elaine and Shelly, right? So it's simply
Elaine Thompson Herah versus.
It's just like when I'm writing. It's like when I'm writing an address. You can either punctuate the entire address or not punctuate any of it. So it's basically the same.
So usually it's not on the one line.
When I write in the letter,
on the one line.
say, okay, when you're writing a letter, you can punctuate the address in the letter, or you can
Yeah.
don't put any punctuation. Both are accepted.
It's not usually on one line though, Fabian. Would you
So
concur?
okay,
It's not
so
usually
Abby
on one
Wayde.
line.
All right, let me teach you because they're having too much fun about this. Abby, you know
Coach,
Abby
you
Steiner.
see you? Are you bringing
And
these classes sometime, you know? Are you
well,
bringing
I
these
know,
classes
Richard.
for
May I
me, you
try
know,
to save you,
sometime?
you know? May I try to save you because them a beat you, you know?
Well, on there. Remember him come on and say, I'm going to pull up for the girl.
Richard, I don't, you see, Rap Smith, if you see Rap Smith deserves some beat.
Hey, Brent James, Abby Wayde is a nurse. So you know what tell me says a nurse a fine, boss.
I never even
Richard
find no
really
nurse.
Google Abby Wayde.
Me not find no nurse.
Oh my God.
What I found, I had to come out of that fast. Trust me. I said, what kind of bag of search this? Abby who?
But Richard, you find out who it is now, right?
Abby Steiner
Yes.
and the
And-
great Wayde Van Niekerk,
Okay, good.
legendary South African. Now I
So
tell
you
you
would
what.
understand why Wayde is in the title because a few days ago, Wayde
Yes.
ran the first competitive race from Tokyo and ran sub 45. Run 44.58. So that is why his name is there because that is no joke time for a season opener.
No doubt about it. And Abby, why is Abby's name there?
Why is Abby's name there?
Yeah.
Because this season, Abby Steiner is the third fastest female in the 100 meters. A third or a second? I think she's third fastest this year or the second. I'm not sure. What I'm sure I did run at trials the other day. Let me confirm that. Hold on.
I know Abby is. Yeah, man. I know Abby has recently won around $2 million contract with Puma, which has been causing some consternation. The suggestion being that what makes her superior
Yeah, she's second. She has the second fastest time in the 100 meter this year. So she has to be in the conversation.
Okay, so the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the women's 100 meters is not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
All right, sir. That's what I stated in my comments.
It is a high possibility, but nothing is guaranteed in track and field.
Respect. That was the point I was trying to make this up. Because after the 1, 2, 3, I heard a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I thought people are getting a little carried away. And if it doesn't happen, then I wanted to avoid disappointment and anticlimax on the part of people.
That was the question was asked when Sherika finished that blistering 200 meters. She was the 100 meters after she won the 100 meters.
Richard.
She was asked the question and she said 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and Abby will not run the 100 meters.
Fabian, don't backtrack now. Even if she's
Abby not running the 100. She's running only the 200.
Okay, even though she's got one of the fastest times in the world, is that right?
She's better at 200. She's not running the 100.
Do you see a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Jamaica in the 100 meters for women?
In the 100 meters for women?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I thought we are talking, but right now, that's the one I directly look at.
Kimba would have to have the perfect race for that to happen.
Exactly.
And I think she would have to run 10-7.
Really?
Yeah.
I would disagree, but we never know. I mean, this is high ideal situation. We don't know whether.
Richard,
what's the weather?
Let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
10-7 guarantees you fourth.
You really see a 10-7 get it? Yes, it would guarantee you fourth. Yes, I'd agree with that. The good likelihood, but I don't think you have to run that fast to get fourth in this race.
But
I don't think someone's capable of running 10-7 for fourth in the 100 meters.
The thing about it, all right. So the thing about it is normally when a race is super fast, all the athletes in the race will run fast because they will pull the other athletes. So if I have Shelly, Elaine, and Sherika to run 10-5 or low 10-6, that means they will pull the other athletes down into 10-7.
Remember say, Kimber Nelson defeated her, you know, Abby.
In the 100 meters at the NCAAs.
Okay. Just adding that punchline.
That is cool. Who do you see as the rivals? Because Michael Johnson, as you said, Michael Johnson said he likes to see rivalries. I indeed like to see rivalries. I'm not hung up and obsessed personally. Rich Pole Sports is not obsessed with the times. The rivalry and the ability to win and compete in big events, that is what really attracts and interests me, and I'm sure many fans out there. Of course, if the times come, that is great, but the competitive nature is what we're looking at. And listening to the conversation, I tell you what, it's almost as if, and this is a testimony and credit to Jamaica, it's almost a case of flat track bullies, in that it's a relatively safe place, the women's 100 meters, because we're looking at a likely winner, a likely silver medalist, and a likely bronze medalist. In world terms, Jamaica small but mighty Talawa and our giants in the women's 100 meters. Why can we not focus our attention also on the women's 200, and more so on, back to this question, what is the blue ribbon event in athletics? Fabian, can you enlighten us? Coach Minzy, enlighten us. What is the blue
ribbon event in track and field?
Yes, you hear that right. There's no echo. Yeah, man. Adapt myself.
Oh, it's easy. The 100 meters.
100
For
meters.
Who? For who?
Huh?
What?
For who?
100 meters.
For who?
100 meters.
That is the blue run event.
Listen, Richard. Listen. Which 100 meter event come first at the trial, at the championship?
Tell me now.
No, may I ask you?
I don't know. Tell me.
Him no know, coach. Him no know
when
that.
Bolt was running, did his 100 come before the female?
I'm asking you a question.
But
and you're skirting around. I can give you the answer, you know. I could give you the answer and see if you want to run with it.
All right,
the blue
Richard,
event.
It's the 100 meters.
100 meters.
Ever 100 meter has the more attention, which one will get more support at that time. So it's not a case where say 100 meter men or 100 meter women. It's 100 meters.
And who is the fastest person on the planet?
Male and female, the blue ribbon event is the 100 meters.
And who is the fastest person on the planet?
You can't do that. You can't do that, Richard, because males are physically stronger than females.
I'm asking a question.
Males are physically stronger than females.
That's true, Fabian. That is
very true. So Flo
Jones on the planet. That's the question he's asking.
His fastest person, he said.
When him asks me that now, me I gotta ask him, may I have the meaning, please, or the gender, please? Because you can't equate. Males are naturally stronger than females.
Yeah.
So you can't put them in the same category. One around 10, one around 9. Obviously, there's a significant difference.
Correct.
So the blue ribbon event is the 100 meters. There's no specificity that states that the blue ribbon event is the male's 100 meters. No. The blue ribbon event is the 100 meters.
Yep.
Who do you have winning the 100 meters for men?
Who do I have winning the 100 meters for men?
Can you even, if you want to get a 1, 2, 3 and you can't call it, it's a mix between whoever comes first, second, and third, a rivalry. Proceed.
I really can't predict future, Richard.
Of course not. We're talking about contenders. I'm talking about naming contenders. Real life contenders. Winner, right?
So me answer now. So why you jumping and you ask me a question and I start answer, jump on. Like I want fair go away. You go still here now.
I have my orange juice, but me not dash it upon anyone. I go drink it. Carry on.
Mine have some white liquid in it, Don't do it. Anyway,
No, sir, just water me into this. Go on, sir.
water. Okay.
Yeah, man.
The 100-meter winner. It can be anybody's race, but Fred Curley is the perennial favorite at the moment. Right. Fred Curley. Any other questions?
Fabian, your thoughts, sir?
That 100-meter is close. I haven't sit down and analyzed that male 100-meter as yet, but Fred Curley is the favorite. I have to sit down and analyze each competitor first and look at it before I make my next week. Next week. Coach, tell them say next week. Me tell them. I will go on the limb next week and tell them.
And you see, I see enough respect to Super Hype, but I see he's saying that he has to see the semifinals to decide. However, the semifinal can fool you too. The semifinal can trick you because an athlete might go out there in the semifinals, and in order to make the finals, you have to blast. And then nothing is really left for the final. You might be a little bit winded or something, but these athletes should have been, fit enough. But I have seen it happen. You understand? But right now, Fred Curley will lead the
Fred Curley for me right now.
I hesitate if I had to pick a winner of that.
Oh, you said the Heat Super Hype, no problem. My apologies. If you said the Heat, no problem. But the semi can be very tricky.
You're making some look of small schoolboy holers tonight, CD. But may I allow you, because the feel good factor, I don't know if you had a long day, but heats and semifinals is a different thing. But anyway, look here. Christian Coleman. Don't sleep on that, brother. Fred Curley, I don't know how much experience he's got in the 100 to back himself to come through for victory. He's fast enough to run a super fast time. Can he hold off the best that the world have to offer? I'm not going to say that's a gimme. The Kenyan, Amanyale, don't sleep on Oblique. Travis Bromell, Marcel Jacobs. Man's had an injury-fraught season, but if he turns up, you better believe he's turning up for victory. So that's going to be a very hotly contested event. Is it because the Jamaicans are not favorites in that particular event why someone such as the mighty Fabian has not done his homework thus far intensely on the men's 100 meters blue ribbon event? Is there any reason, viewers and subscribers, that Fabian has not gone to work on the men's 100 meters?
Because there are too many unknowns. One,
it's a fascinating event, isn't it? It's not an open and shut case like the women's. Women's is an open and shut case.
I have seen all the women. I have not seen all the men. I'm still doing some digging to find out about Marcel, because Marcel has this thing about when he's running, he is relaxed. And the more relaxed you are, the faster you go. But he hasn't run in weeks. So again, might not be as sharp. Coleman, he didn't run the 100-meter finals at the US trials. Again, I'm thinking about how is he mentally after being out so long. If mentally he's up for the challenge. Bramwell has a mental problem. Remember, Bramwell entered the Olympics last year as firm favorite. And so there are too many unknowns for me. For me, Fred Curley seems to be the most stable of the Americans, and coming off of that medal in Tokyo, I think Fred Curley is the favorite right now. But to answer the question that you really want to ask, I have a Jamaican to medal.
Oblique?
I have a Jamaican to medal. That's all I will say.
I like that. I like that you're keeping your cards close to your chest. I will bring it firmly out front. If one medals, I don't think it's Mr. Blake. Young, talented, but young, still learning the ropes. A great future.
Why
in
not?
front
Why
of him.
not Blake? Blake is the second fastest 100-meter, second fastest man in history. Why not Blake?
I'm talking about Akeem Blake. You know, you're talking about Johan Blake.
But you said it must be Seville
Akeem.
and not
Okay.
Blake. So I would assume that you're saying not you and Blake.
I
Or
don't
not.
put I personally don't put Johan Blake into the equation.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, isn't he a former world champion?
He's the second fastest in history, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's also a former world champion. He also has the experience.
Mm-hmm. When did he win that world championship? Just remind us.
It doesn't matter when he won or who
I'm
was
asking
in
a
the race
question.
or
I
who
don't.
wasn't in the race.
I'm asking a question, King. Which year was that? Was that the year? Wait, that was the year when Bolt false started. Is that right?
Care
Osaka.
who was in
Osaka?
or who wasn't in the race, who false start in the race, who
Usain
never
Bolt.
in the race. He's a world champion.
But we're not talking about him being a world champion this time.
And you can't take that away from him.
You can't take that from him. He's
Oh,
the
you
world
mean?
champion.
Oh, you mean you can't take it away from him? Not
I
at
don't
all.
want
No
to
one's
say
looking to take it away from him.
who was in the race or who wasn't or who false start and make this up. He's a world champion. So I have to give him that.
Wait, you're not giving him a blight. I'd rather work with the 9.62. He beat who was in front of him. If Bolt was in the race, it would have been a different kettle of fish. Arguably,
I can't say that because Bolt wasn't in the race. I can't say if Bolt was this. As a matter of fact, Bolt was in the race because false start is a part of the game. Bolt was in the race.
We're not taking anything away from Johan Blake's achievement.
I'm just making sure we got all of the I's, I'm just making sure I got all the I's and cross all the T's.
Oh, the I's and T's. May I tell you about the sentence structure, So the dotting the I's and T's is absolutely very pertinent. You hear that, Coach Minzy? He's dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yes, because you're having a conversation. That is just a headline, sir. Thank you very much.
Figuratively, I'm dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So make sure you get the facts straight when you're talking about Johan Blake. Second fastest man ever in both the 100 and the 200 meters. All right? Former world champion. So I don't want you to tell me, Bolt did false start in the race or whatever, because I could argue that Johan Blake is the reason for Bolt's false start.
What is past is past. We're not beat down on that. I'm absolutely in the same page as you.
You would open a whole can of worms because Johan Blake is the reason for Bolt's false start.
Well,
because Bolt knew that because the shape that Johan Blake was in, if Bolt knew that he had to get out there in order to beat him.
Yes, that's right. I agree with you. I know what you're talking about.
So that is why he false started that race. But that is history. Let us give Blake. I'm saying this because Blake ran 9.8 in Kingston. He has to be in the conversation.
And you see him as a potential medalist. Listen, I want as many Jamaicans on the podium as possible in Eugene. As many as possible. I don't care who they are. As long as they reach the podium or run their best races, I am 150% behind my fellow Jamaicans. But I'm also keeping it real. And that means facing up to the threats and keeping it real. Not trying to go with no biased business.
All right.
No, sir.
All right. Let me explain something to you now. All right. So this is the thing. The psychology of sport is very important.
Absolutely.
Right. And I do a lot of research as it relates to psychology in sports. I pay attention to that side of sports. The psychology in sports is different. Now, you and the funny thing, I made a video for the 400 meters for my channel, and I don't post it yet. And I'm going to remake the video because I have to add Van Niekerk to that video because I didn't have him because he hasn't run all season. But that 44.5, I have to add him to that video now.
And by the way, is he entered? Is he cleared the South African Championships? Is he heading to Eugene?
All right. So the thing about it is there is no rule that says you have to win your championships to go. IAAF said just make it be fair. So that is why countries normally have trials to eliminate arguments and all of that. They can select whoever they want.
They would be foolish. It would be unlikely. He would if
Okay.
his name is on the sheet.
So
I'd
based
love
on
to
all
see
of
him.
that, he should be there.
Phenomenal runner. Phenomenal
Right.
runner.
So when it comes on to psychology, he will change the entire game for the 400 meters, because you might have your race plan, your race strategy, and all of that, and standing up next to the world record holder is completely different now running a race without him. So with all of that, all those things considered, with Johan Blake in that 100-meter race, he does have a chance. Once you're in the race, you have a chance. Worse know that he's looking like he's getting close to his best again. So I don't want you to come in and say, oh, Johan don't have a chance. Johan doesn't have a shot. Of course, he does have a chance, a very big one too.
Let me tell you where I'm coming from. I lay my cards on the table. Rich Post Sports lays the cards on the table regarding the former great Johan Blake, who showed recently in the Jamaican national triumphs an amazing and about turn to run sub 10 seconds. He produced arguably the run of the championships, because to throw down that time and indeed to win the 100 meters trial ahead of Oblique Seville,
was about $3 million. Shut me up.
It was a stellar performance. It was a performance to shut up many doubters and detractors. No doubt about that, Fabian. You were not on your own in that regard. But what I am careful of doing, listen, Johan, I notice he's not doing the old beast. He seems a little bit more humble. He's not like doing that business. But I am I'm lowering expectations to avoid disappointment. I don't want to heap pressure on him to say, yes, he's back. I don't think he's back. He's
on his way back.
He's on his way back. But I don't know if he'll ever return to that beast that we remember.
He won't.
Right. And on that basis, I can't say hand on heart that these Tigers and Warriors now in the 100 meters won't be ahead of him. If I was Omanyali, if I was Travis Bromell, if I was Fred Curley, if I was Christian Coleman, the list goes on. Andre, I would not be expecting Johan to beat me, but I'd make sure I bring my A game to ensure that he is not in the equation. The 100 meters is a simple kind of game, Bottom line, on your marks, get set, go. Whoever gets across that line.
It is not that simple, Richard. But as a rebuttal, let me explain. Let me say this to you.
All right, darling.
While I don't think Johan will ever get back to that 9.69, he does not need to get to that 9.69 to win or to even medal, because there is nobody right now running faster than 9.7. So he doesn't need to get back to 9.69.
Where does he need to get to? I agree with you again. I agree with you fully.
Where
does he need to get to?
He needs to get to 9.7, and it's highly possible, because I do believe both him and Seville will get to 9.7.
Johan Blake, a 9.7. If I see that, I will be whooping and hollering.
He ran 9.8, and he will go faster at World Championships. Well, he should go fast at World Championships because he had 3 weeks. So that 9.85 should drop. Same with Seville.
Well, I tell you, I wish Johan all the very best. I did notice in the comment section, Gregory Reed was taking issue with your good self regarding that fateful World Championship when Usain Bolt full started. In Gregory Reed's word, rewatch the video. He seemed to fall out of the blocks, and he was in no way cowed or perturbed by the form of Johan Blake. This is when we go into the speculation realms. We don't know what was going on in that particular race. What we do know is that Johan crossed the line first, and Mr. Bolt in that race just happened to be DQ'd. It was one of those things. So I'm not going to argue the toss. For me, I just wanted to make sure a Jamaican crossed the line first, and we know the greatness of Usain Bolt.
Yeah, I just wanted to get like, because let me tell you, you and Blake has a very wide following, and I don't want them lynch you and beat you on coach's desk. So we have to make sure, say, we stay objective. That is what
Got
I
it.
am trying to do. We have to stay and be objective on this.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
that is why I'm making sure that running 9.8, you have to be in the conversation if you run 9.8. Because there aren't a lot of persons running fast times in the world. And fast times we mean faster than 9.7.
It's a mouthful. I'm looking forward. I will be looking forward to going onto your actual platform. Looking forward to seeing that. I've not seen any of that yet, and also checking you out on Coach's Desk for your 100 meters prediction. So I look forward to that when you've done your research and come back. That'll be very, very interesting. It's a far more open race,
It
in
is
my
hard.
opinion.
It is hard for me, honestly. It is very hard.
Intriguing. There's so many dynamics there. Whereas
It is, and I have a sort of, me send coach one athlete, and I just have a feel something in the back of my head from what I saw at trials, that he has something up his sleeve. I said that I just sent coach an athlete that I think that athlete has something up his sleeves. While doing my research, I just think he has something up his sleeve.
in addition to the Jamaicans and Fred Curley.
Yeah, all right. See this comment here. Say Fred Curley 976, Bramel 981, Omanala 985, Bracy 985, Blake 985, Seville 986, Coleman 987, Benjamin 990, 992, Hakeem Blake. So
Wow.
you realize the times are pretty close.
Thank you very much for that super hype 82. That is
Right.
fascinating.
They are very close. So it's
look at that.
execution. It's execution.
Look at that. Wow. I mean, that whets my appetite. We're talking about rivalries. Michael Johnson was talking about rivalries, which is maybe two people, but this is across the board rivalry of a different nature, of a competitive nature. I think this is a fascinating contest. I mean, the days of Usain Bolt when he was, the superstar of superstars, is no more. This is a great lineup. I mean, look at that. Mouth watering. Yes, coaches.
Hey, Don Dino says it's very hard, men, on 100 meters, like algebra right now, or some sort of calculus.
It's add maths.
Yeah. Before we allow time to elapse, Abby Steiner, you saw the feedback from her after this whole introduction of her being signed with Puma for $2 million. She clapped back, stating that persons need to do their research, and both consumers and reporters and coaches. So she was clapping hard.
She was.
What say you, Richard?
Armchair fan.
You think she's just trying to mask the truth? Because I've done a research. A matter of fact, Leighton Levy, the guru, said it on this channel last time we spoke. And I did my research, and it is so. I'm not going to say the figure is correct. I'm hearing persons quoting the figure. You understand? So, what say you on this, Abby Steiner? Blast.
Well, watch out. In your research, did you come across and find out exactly what Abby Steiner has done to merit such a contract, as compared and contrasted to the likes of Sydney world record holder McCaughlin, Atin Mo, and so on? What has she shown in her resume that you have found to say she can clap back with authority? I have my doubts as an armchair athletics fan. I was agog and wondered. I had one or two ideas flicking through my head. What did you find out?
I guess in terms of what she has done, I mean, the shoe company does not necessarily sign you based on what you are, what you have done. And I put that in quotation, not necessarily sign you because of that. It might be future potential and all of that. But she has done well on the NCAA circuit. And that would have caused her to gather some sort of highlight on the sponsor. Because you mentioned some name just now, and Sydney's they are signed by different people, not the same company.
And maybe for less money. And maybe for from what I saw, it seemed to be...
would always be a maybe. You know what I mean? But
I saw some figures.
I think not. I don't even know how to explain it, but naturally these people are looking for a superstar from America. That's my thinking on it. And they tried with what's the other lady there, man? The other Caucasian sprinter.
Was it Prandini?
Prandini, yes, Jenna Prandini. And it possibly have not blossomed or bear any fruit to date. And they might believe that Abby is poised. She's the next best because she's putting down some very good 200-meter time. 21.7. That's fast.
Very fast.
And anybody would have taken you up on that to sign you. So I mean, in terms of what she has done, 21.7 is alone can give you a payday. And I think that is, and she has run sub 10 as well. Sorry, sub 11. Sub 11. So I mean, she's right there. Sub 22, sub 11. That's a big deal. She has done something.
I think what's really interesting and what caught my eye and gave me cause to reflect seriously on the potential debating matter of this particular matter is what you've just mentioned. If Abby Steiner is a 1090 operator at her best now, could get down to a 1080, could right now 1090. 1090 does not challenge and beat the current Jamaicans or the best of the Americans, like a Hobbs. Doesn't do it. So the question then is begged. You go to the 200 meters where she's a specialist. Sharika Jackson would have her number more likely than not. Same with Elaine Thompson. Christina Mboma, if and when she returns, she would also have the number. Of course, we've got Gabby Thomas, a fantastic athlete with great prospects, a great talker, attractive, would be great for sponsors. Why has this package been bestowed upon an athlete who actually may not be a prospective Olympic or world champion? And it goes back to the question, is it the great white hope? In boxing, if you went far back as the Jerry Cooney. There's a guy called Jerry Cooney who was touted to be the next great thing before taking on Larry Holmes and coming up short.
Well, Richard,
Tommy Morrison was the next one as well. The great white. Would I have signed her?
Signed her? Based on what she would have been doing today, would you have signed her?
No question about it. I would definitely, from what I've seen, I would sign her. The thing is, and where I have my issue is, would I sign her for considerably more than a Sydney McLaughlin or an Athin Mo? I'm not so sure. I would be hesitant because I would have to be a very good agent to do that. I personally, as an athlete, track and field fan, acknowledge Athin Mu as a generational talent. There's another Kenyan, by the way, who is running. Look out for it. I thought it was going to be a two-way tussle, a two-way rivalry between Keely Hodgkinson of Great Britain and Athin Mu of the United States out of Sudan. But there's a Mara, M-O-R-A, A, I believe the name is, from Kenya. She threw down and beat Keely Hodgkinson in Stockholm. And the first time I've seen her, she beat Faith Kipyegon in the 800 meters. That was enough for me to say, look out for a three-way tussle there in the 800 meters. I think Mo is a greater talent than Abby Steiner. Abby Steiner's challenge of taking on and beating the Jamaicans consistently, I think that's a very tough ask. They may be thinking ahead, though. Watch this. This could be something for the likes of yourself and Fabian, viewers and subscribers. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button for this juicy type of conversation. Could it be that those sponsors, because they want to pay for good, for their investment, are they aware that Shelly and Elaine have only so much time left? It may leave, for the time being, the likes of Shericka Jackson or Kemba Nelson as the next rivals. Brianna Liston, the Clayton twins are still very young. There could be a window of opportunity for Abby Steiner. And when her agent went into the office, I'm sure that they did their sums and looked at the calendar and said, how do we justify this? How do we justify this? In X amount of years, this lady is going to be an Olympic champion, or she'll have a great shot. Let's get behind her. My question to you, Fabian, do you see Abby Steiner being superior to a Brianna Liston, the Clayton twins, Shericka Jackson, maybe older, maybe having more things on her plate to contend with? Who knows? But she would be maybe the next viable contender to go toe-to-toe with a Shericka after the era of Elaine and Shelly Ann is over. That's where I think the pitch was made and why she's got the contract with Puma. What say you, Fabian?
All right. So when I saw this, my response was, you remember when a few young athletes in Jamaica in the bold era, when they got some big sponsorships, they got some big deals from Puma also. And in this thing, it's about looking at projections. And based on projections, Abby Steiner looks like she will get to the top of the world. Looks like she will get there. And as sponsors in the world, they want to get these talents before they get to the top of the podium. So that is what they normally look at. I remember because of Bolt, they gave many Jamaicans got some big contracts because of the Bolt effect. I think with Abby Steiner, it is safe to say that for America, she will be the top runner for America for the next few years. Will she get over the line and get to a world title? That is a whole nother story, because one, Elaine has at least 3 more years in her. Shelly Ann seems to be getting faster with age. Shericka is 27, 28 next week, Saturday. So she has at least another 8 years in her. Abby Steiner is 22. And then we're talking about a Brianna Liston, a Brianna Williams. So it's not going to be easy, and I'm not putting it past our Jamaican girls to get up there, but she will be in the running. I know she'll be at top of America. So I think what Puma is looking at, they are trying to get the next big thing, because that's how sponsorship is. You want to try and get the next big thing. And if you were watching the junior trials a few weeks ago, you will realize there were some juniors in sponsored kits at trials. It's the same thing, that these sponsors are trying to get the next big thing. I'm not gonna call any names, but we spoke about and Coach pointed out a few of them who were in sponsored gear in the junior trials. So it's about getting the next big thing. And I think Puma did make a mistake. I think they're looking for the next big thing. Brain Drain's girl, definitely not it. So they're running to the next big thing, which is Abby. As it relates to Sydney, while Sydney is an excellent runner, I think her personality is not. First, Sydney doesn't even like social media. She's one who just does her business on the track. You interview her, she's calm, she's mad, she don't even want to say a lot of words. That is just how Sydney is. And I think Sydney is comfortable with her. Is it is the New Balance? I think Sydney is a New Balance athlete. So maybe Puma, the thing about it, Puma, it would cost Puma a lot more to sponsor Sydney than it is to Abby. Because remember, at this point, Sydney is already the world record holder. Abby hasn't done anything yet. Her projections are there. So also, Mu is an Olympic champion. So all of those things will dictate when is the right time to get athletes on board and all of those things. So that's why they are jumping to Abby Steiner.
And do you think it's good enough, or do you think it's a play on words when you say that they are envisaging or hoping that she gets to the top? The top being what? The gold medal, or the top being a contender, a podium finisher? Because Sharika, if Sharika consistently beat her, then it would be considered in some circles failure. But if you can keep the dream alive with the aspiration that she can one day win a major title, then they'd probably consider that a good investment. And people would be still paying attention to her because she's a viable rival.
It's about all right. So when I get a sponsorship deal, it's about your impact on the average man out there. Remember when Bolt won in Beijing and he took off his spikes, Puma sales skyrocket because of that. So it's all about influence also. It's how much Abby Steiner can influence the next American runner, the next runner in the world to buy Puma spikes because Abby Steiner is running Puma spikes.
Also appeal.
Yeah. So it's all, that is all a part of it. So based on all of that, Abby Steiner would be perfect for them in that sense because it's a win-win for them, So that $2 million that they give Abby Steiner, if Abby Steiner goes to the World Championships this year and wins a medal in the 200 meters, they make back that $2 million in probably 2 minutes. So that is how sponsorship works and endorsement deals work.
She's got a very interesting, I must say, in addition to the fact that of her complexion, she does have a very interesting race style.
I think she's a 2-4 runner. That's running 100.
Wow, yeah, I did hear. She laughed. I heard her asked if she would want to run a 400. She's not in love with the 400. It's a tough event, for sure. But she would do it if necessary. But in the 200, her acceleration and the way she looks, which is ostensibly she's decelerating at a slower rate than the others. It makes for a very interesting 200 meters. She looks very strong coming down the home stretch. So that can be very appealing on the eye to the viewers. So I think Puba may have done a pretty good deal there, but it's a very good deal. And you can see why detractors would have been taking some swings and throwing some and throwing rocks and arrows in her direction. Because, as I said, on the face of it, I think people like Mu and people like McCaughlin are absolutely stellar athletes, young, talented, and they've got the future ahead of them. They've got things even. Go ahead,
Richard. In this part of the world, as Brain Jane just make an excellent comment. 800 meter sells nothing. In this part of the world, it's about sprinting.
Right, which is one of the reasons why when I read the article this afternoon, I had to nod my head and say, interesting dynamics. The 800 meters does not equate necessarily, well, it doesn't equate to the 100 meters. So that was an interesting dynamic. And again, for the 400 meters hurdles, it doesn't come across in the same way as the blue ribbon events of the 100 meters. And then the 200 meters in addition. It is interesting, though, that Abby is not a 100-meter runner at the moment, the best. She can be touted as one of the best, but she's in the mix for a finals place. She may not make the top 4 in.
She has a good shot at medaling. I think only one person can stop her from medaling in that 200.
But remember, the 200, I mean, is the 200 as sexy, as attractive as the 100? The 200 has traditionally been the in the middle type event. Calvin Smith was a wonderful runner, former world record holder at 100 meters, and he was known more though for the 200 meters. But it wasn't quite the same as we've already discussed. The blue ribbon, which is the 100 meters. Shelly Ann, phenomenal 100-meter runner. But we know the 200 is a slightly different kettle of fish, but we don't detract, and it doesn't detract from her greatness because we know it's a separate event and maybe not carrying the same cachet as the 100 meters. So it's an interesting one. I'm not gonna throw brickbats at her. She's gonna have pressure.
The hope, Richard, is that she will get better at the 100. Because 1090 is not a slow time. For a 22-year-old, 1090 is pretty good.
There's
and
another, yeah.
She ran that at NCAA, so 1090 is not bad. She already has the speed, and she's distributing her speed well in the 200 to be running that time. She's just not running the phases of the 100 meter correct. So if she get the phases of the 100 meter correct, she should be able to go faster.
She's a great prospect. I look forward to seeing her in Eugene and God willing in the years to come. But she's gonna have her work cut out. She's gonna have her work cut out because Jamaica. I think those promoters and the sponsors will be well aware that Jamaica have been ruling the roost for maybe a little too long in some people's eyes. But there's news for you. There's a factory. In fact, hey, let me just ask a quick question. In your guys' opinion, when people talk about a conveyor belt or a factory of talent coming from Jamaica, how do you view that? I remember they're talking about the West Indies having a factory of fast bowlers, a conveyor belt of fast bowlers. And it got to the point where we almost took that for granted. And lo and behold, things changed as things usually do. When people talk about the conveyor belt or the factory in Jamaica, do you take that as a bit of a slight in some respects, or do you say we're not taking things for granted? It actually takes hard work, commitment, quality training, quality coaching, a high IQ, a real strong desire to work, and we don't just simply say, oh, it's a factory, it's a conveyor belt. Of course they produce fast athletes, because sometimes that's how it's conveyed and portrayed over here. In fact, I'm always surprised that English people and the English media, British media, don't big up Jamaica more than they do, because Jamaica, that flag it just flies so high, and you wonder how come that island, 3 or so million people, but it keeps on beating the world in the blue ribbon events and is competing at the highest level year after year, decade after decade, and if anything, they're getting better. What say you?
As long as our coaches keep improving, we will continue to produce top quality sprinters, because our genetics say that we should be good sprinters. So once we have our coaches being improved, and we see a lot of coaches even now at the primary school level. So that is what is contributing to us creating sprinters. So we have a lot more qualified coaches at the primary school level, at the prep school level, and also at the high school level, which will only start develop the athletes earlier, teaching them the right things, so that when they become pros, then some things will become second nature to them. So we will always be producing top quality sprinters once the coaches are getting better and stay consistent.
Plus, the reservoir of talent that we have here on the island is like a spring. It will never run dry.
Cannot run dry.
So we'll always have the talents. And like Stephen Francis said, he is never correct.
I heard that.
So if this year he's doing something to allow Sherika Jackson to run fast, next year that might not be correct, because you would have gathered more information that will allow him to graduate from what he was doing.
Mercy, plea.
So, trust me. And more, this thing is, well, from day one, I know that coaching is a science. And you have to constantly experiment. You have to constantly try to put the formula together to get the best outcome of what you're trying to achieve. So, it is important that the talent is there, but it is also equally important that the coaches recognize that you're trying to come up with the formula. And in science, there's a lot of testing, trial and error, a lot of experiment, because you have to get what you're doing correctly. Yeah? So trust me. It will never stop. Like Fabian said, in Jamaica, we have basic school championship. And these children are not coached by no local flan coach. You have at the primary level, various primary championship, prep school championship. At the high school, we know about that. So the well won't be running dry anytime soon. So the world will forever be hearing Jamaica, Jamaica.
Jamaica land, we
right.
love.
And on that very note, we are 16 minutes over the 2-hour mark.
And we don't even talk about Van Niekerk, you know, coach. And if we want to talk about Wayde, we definitely need to talk about Wayde because, as me say, I made my 400 predictions already for my channel. And I have to redo the video.
So
Yeah, man.
give us a minute there, Fabian and Van Niekerk.
All right. So
sorry, Wayde.
Wayde, not Abby Wayde. Wayde Van Niekerk. Not Abby Wayde. All right. So the 400 meters.
Let me explain something to Richard. There, you see, when you're setting up the title as well.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Amount of characters that you have to put in.
I was wondering.
So you see, the more punctuation you put in, you lessen the amount of characters that you have. Hence the reason you lessen or you remove the punctuations and ensure that you put in the characters. That will be of more importance than the linguistic corrections. Go ahead, Fabian.
All right. So, as I said, I did my 400 meter prediction for my channel. I just need to upload that video. But I'm going to do it over because the 400 meters gives us a different dynamic than the 100 meters. It is not as straightforward as the 100 meters. Now, a lot of things come into play in the 400 meters. Race strategy comes into play. Now, I have to include Van Niekerk in my list because his first race of the season, he ran 44.58. Now, while 44.58 might not seem like an impressive time for a season opener, that is a very good time. I believe that his 44.5 will get him a lane in that finals. And you might argue and tell me, oh, it might get an outer lane. He broke the record from lane 8. So I have to have Van Niekerk in the conversation for the 400 meters because the 400 meters is an event like this. You surprise yourself in the 400 meters. And
somebody got surprise that man, that's you know. Somebody surprise that man up there, you know. Somebody got surprise him. Keep talking, Fabian.
Runs with his heart on his sleeves. So he's not somebody that is going to be afraid and say, hey, I'm not going to attack the first 200, you know, or he's going to run conservative. He will go there and run. If he mash up himself, he mash up himself. That is just how Wayde is. So with that being said, I have to have him in the running, even though the Americans are running sub 44. Van Niekerk can easily run low 44 and win. because the 400 meters is a different dynamic. Running sub 44 after going through runs of a 400 meters is not easy. So these times that they're running the sub 44 and whatever, they're running without the world record holder in the race. Strategies change depending on who you're running against. And 400 meters is about strategy. So for me, he definitely has a shot at the medal, at medaling in that race, even though he's running 44.5 right now.
And very, very good analogy there, Fabian. But I certainly some way disagree with you.
Speak.
Because Stephen Gardner has been superb since 2017.
I have him to win.
Oh, you have him to win?
Yes.
Okay.
I have Stephen Gardner as my overwhelming favorite to win.
Oh, okay. Well, I go no further.
No, Stephen Gardner. I have Stephen Gardner to win.
With that, remember, I think Van Niekerk ran a 44, close to 44.5 some time ago as well,
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't factor as well. So I'm just saying.
He will be in the finals, though. That's what, once you have a lane in the finals, you will be in the conversation.
That's true.
And for me, I think he will be fighting James and Norman for that silver and bronze medal.
He has to run 43 to get a medal. 43 in the bracket of the 43. Probably 43, 7 or 6 to get a medal.
He might not be ready then. If he has to run 43, he might not be ready until next year.
Yeah, that's where I'm putting it.
He might not be ready until next year, but again, I still can't count him out. Because he is.
But I mean, with the plethora of speed that is ahead of him right now, it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, people, I'm going to close out the show, but very, very good analogy there, Fabian. Big up to Rich Pool will come over here to pull up the folly ground and end up with the folly ground. You know what I mean? I get all yellow card and them something and the joke of the sound.
Man, get yellow card in our tracks.
You understand? So I don't know, but big up yourself, Rich Pool. People, subscribe to Rich Pool Sports. You can subscribe to Fabian, Track Talk with Fabian. I drop the link in the comment section. Subscribe to these gentlemen channel and just enjoy the content that they share. And we definitely will continue to have our talks. We might do a prediction, medal prediction for next week, where we talk about the medal collection that Jamaica might have. That is a topic that we'll probably possible survey next week. But big up on yourself, big up to all the persons in the comment section. Big up the great brain drain, super hype. Big up yourself, you're rating large. You know what I mean? Fresh God in the building. Everybody, Tuffy Rudy, Michael. If me call name, me having a problem and me start call name, me can't call everybody name. But big up on yourself. The 200
Fresh God, Cheyenne, B.I. Strong, all of them.
And please to like the video before you jump off. Thanks very much for tuning in. Big up Fabian, big up Rich Po again. And the closer I get to the World Championship, and the more excitement I got. You think tonight is excited?
Oh, you mean?
Closer. You wait till you reach closer. Yeah? So again, people, bless up on yourself. Just continue to stay safe.
Yeah, man.
Until next time. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.